Tonight, our first presenter will be Ryan Forret, introducing 2021 Hall of Fame inductee Todd Forret.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is definitely a pleasure to be the one to bring Todd into the Athletic Hall of Fame. His good friend Eric Davison was going to do that, but he's down in Texas and he couldn't be here, so he asked me to read some nice things about Todd. And some of these are going to be some statistics. I'll just kind of gloss over some of the things because you guys understand that in order for somebody to have this honor, they've definitely racked up a lot of statistics and done some great things in their time here at ADM. So let's start with Todd was a four-sport student athlete while attending A.Del DeSoto from 87 to 90. And he was the winner of 13 varsity letters, including football, basketball, track, and baseball. In basketball, he was a 1990 team captain. And Eric says this, I also think he was the inventor of the NBA Euro step before we knew what that really was. Because Todd could take one dribble from the three-point line and end up at the hoop. He was called for traveling many times for this, but it was legit. In baseball, he was a part of the 1988 Raccoon River Conference Championship team, and he was also voted as team captain in 1990 for baseball. In track and field, he was voted team captain in 1990 as well. He also held the ADM hurdles record, which is the 400 hurdles, for 25 years. He was a member of many different championship teams, state track meet, Drake relays, lots of qualifying relay teams. There's also some individual events. He has held or been part of 4 different track and field records at ADM, which include the 4x1, the 4x2, 400 hurdles, and he is still the leadoff leg of all-time fastest of the 4x400 relay to date at ADM. So Todd went on after high school. He went on to compete at Simpson College with football and also with track and field. And just a nice little few things that I remember about Todd growing up. So if anybody knows him, he was all about sports all the time. So if he wasn't shooting hoops on his dirt basketball court, organizing baseball games with his friends in the summertime, or setting up an obstacle course in our yard, and then if he wasn't playing sports, he was watching sports as a fan. And it is absolutely no wonder, with his athletic career here and everything that he wanted to do in life, that he would end up going on to have a career as a phys ed teacher and also a coach. And, he had some great influences here, and we'll just throw out a couple of them, Mr. Wisner, Mr. Jetman. So that's that.
Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate that. It was very nice. I came in earlier to set up. I was kind of running late, had things going on, busy football season started. Going to set up, and somebody came up and asked me for an ID, asked me why I was setting up. Todd Forret was supposed to be here. And I made me show about 3 forms of ID because they were expecting somebody that still had hair. But so I've seen all those pictures, and proof that I did have hair. Thank you for coming. Proud to be here. I'm going to do the best I can. I've got a script. I'm going to try to stay to, talk quick. Want to thank my friend Eric Davison for nominating me, going through the paperwork, getting the ball rolling on that, and the Hall of Fame committee, Melody and Barb, been great, sending me emails, keep me up to date, and get things done. Thank the people that were a part of doing the nominations or in the voting. Thought that I was worthy of this honor. Eric had called me in 2019 in December to share the news with me that I was going to join him in the Hall of Fame. So that kind of got me thinking about my time at A.Del DeSoto, and it brought back a lot of memories, coaches, friends, some of the things that the accomplishments that we had. I just remember growing up here and enjoyed it, thought it was the best thing since sliced bread, I guess, at the time. Living here allowed me to make a lot of friends, kind of do what you wanted to do. like a lot of small towns, our life revolved around going to the swimming pool and ride your bikes around town. And we lived outside of town, which my parents still do. Sometimes you couldn't make it into town, so you had to make your own fun. And for me, that was usually throwing a ball off the garage, hitting it with a tennis ball, shooting baskets, as my brother mentioned. He stole my thunder a little bit with the obstacle course out in the front yard, with anything I could find, sawhorses, you name it. But that's kind of what we did to create our fun. If I was lucky, we could get some people together to go play jam ball, go play some home run ball down at the Little League fields, things like that. That was what was fun. So we didn't sit around a whole lot. We were our organizers and coaches and referees, and that's kind of the way we liked it. It also gave me a chance to practice and do a lot of different activities, tennis and basketball, football, all those things, and that kind of shaped me for my athletic career. Give me, it's practice, but it wasn't practice. It wasn't a chore. It was fun. That's just kind of how I did things. A big part of growing up here on Friday nights, we're going to basketball games and football games, watching Hall of Fame members Eric Hikas and Tim Canny, along with their teammates, just kind of just pretending that I was in their shoes, making the big play, making the big shot. They were kind of the guys that I looked up to at that time. I'd wait down by the Tiger Den. I'm sure Joe remembers fondly Coach Nelson encouraging the football players to do better as they came out of halftime and getting high fives and doing that. I remember going to Vets Auditorium. For you younger kids, you'll have to look that up. But watching the Tigers play Mason City Newman and getting beat in a double overtime game at the state tournament. But those were the things that kind of had an impact on me, and the experiences. And then those are the players I wanted to be like. And, I can still hear, Ron, everybody will tell you that if they played sports at Adel DeSoto, that, Ron's voice is kind of one of the first things they think of. And I knew that, when I'd heard my name called over the intercom, I was kind of thinking, I've made the big time here because of that. So that was a pretty good deal. But, little did I know that, those were going to be the relationships and experiences that, as a kid, kind of steered me on my path. Kind of things kind of come a little full circle. As Ryan mentioned, I've been coaching and teaching down in Indianola for over 25 years now. So I'm kind of on the other end of that, giving back to the kids after the guys, the dads and things and the coaches had done so much for us growing up, kind of being on the other end of it. And so hopefully I'm doing a good job of that, and the kids that I'm working with are having the same kind of experience that I was able to have when I was a kid. The accomplishments and the accolades, the awards that I was fortunate to earn certainly were not possible without the teachers and coaches who helped me along the way. A lot of people I've got to thank for their time, patience, knowledge, encouragement, and occasionally a kick in the pants to be the best student, person, and athlete that I could be. So here are some of the names. These are names that I can remember, look through. I think I've got everybody. I owe them a debt of gratitude for helping me grow as a person. So if I happen to miss somebody along the way, I certainly apologize. Jerry Bond, Ron Brenner, Kent Glenn, Eric Hikas, John Jetman, the late Steve McDermott, Terry Rolls, Gary Seaholm, Ed Schaefer, Dan Sievert, Mike Steele, and Mike Wisner. I'd love to tell you a few stories about some of these guys, but this probably isn't the proper form right here, so you might catch me later about that. I'd also like to mention a couple teachers that really challenged me and helped me, John Mize and Nancy Chapman. They both were very demanding teachers, but their lessons and expectations certainly carried over with me through college, and to this day, I am proud to tell people, that I get complimented, not to toot my own horn, but I do still get complimented that I write good emails and I write letters and do some of those things very well, and I owe it all back to the people that helped me with my writing skills in high school. I also need to thank the numerous teammates and classmates I had throughout high school. I'm receiving this honor in no small part to them and their support and dedication to our teams throughout high school. They pushed me at practice, helped me create a lot of fun memories. They were partners in drills, runners in relays, supporters in the stands, on the sideline, and in the dugout. I'd like us to especially thank a couple of my closest classmates, Eric Davison, Chip Cooper, Jason Tryon, and John Pizzali. They were my closest friends. We had a good camaraderie. Started in Little League. We were best buddies all through high school, and we had lots of fun, whether it was just messing around or working out, things like that, and those are times I won't forget. To my brother Ryan, I can't overstate how important he was to me growing up. He begrudgingly went along with all the times I conned him and likely more like bullied him into being my tackling dummy, a stand-in basketball defender, and batting practice pitcher. You might say he was my guinea pig. Okay, see if I can find my spot. There we go. But it was fun for me, but maybe not so much for him. I did usually hold up my end of the bargain, though. I would play some Legos or Hot Wheels with him to keep him happy, knowing that there was something coming down the line that I'd want to do that again. But he was my playmate, my partner, and that allowed me to get better, albeit now looking back, maybe a little bit of a selfish way. But I wouldn't trade those times and memories for anything, and I certainly hope that he have fond memories of those looking back on that. I will say, though, that I think he's kind of gotten the last laugh. The last competitive running I did was 10 years ago in a 5K, and he handily beat me in the red flannel run. And at this point, riding bikes with him, I still have to work pretty hard to stay up with him. So he's kind of getting the last laugh on that kind of a thing. Certainly not last, I want to thank my parents, Mike and Lana. You always afforded me the ability to do the things I loved, even when it included throwing things off the garage, jumping all over the house, playing Nerf basketball, and turning the front yard into an obstacle course. Doing anything I could do to kind of tear up the yard and the house. I probably at the time didn't appreciate the cost to you at the time and how it drove you nuts, but you always made sure I had the equipment to use, got the games and practices on time, and allowed me to improve my skills by sending me to basketball and football camps. Dad always had time for me when I wanted to play catch. He always would put up with my endless desire to make that one final last catch. Dad, throw it out here so I have to dive and catch it. That was always kind of my thing. I had to end on that. And he would do it over and over and over. He was there to push me in the right direction, and he was always my supporter. Mom never failed to keep up with my dirty clothes and uniforms and have them ready to go so I could stain them up again. She always kept the fridge stocked and dinner ready so I was able to eat nonstop, and now I'm on the other end of that. My son sitting here in the green shirt, he's kind of inherited the family trait of having a hollow leg. He eats all the time. So she was our biggest cheerleader for me and my teammates, and everybody knew whose mom was yelling in the stands for the Tigers. So thank you for all you did for me. I love you guys. Once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Appreciate the Hall of Fame committee and the alumni committee for putting this on. It's a great event, and I appreciate the chance to speak tonight. Thank you very much.